Greetings everyone, Randy Swati here from the Nature Conservancy's LANDFIRE team to do a little demo of how I work with the output of a combine of the LANDFIRE biophysical settings and succession class rasters that I did in ArcMap as I showed you in a previous demo. Here I'm in Excel, as you see, where I have used the data from text/CSV tool to bring in that attribute table. Then I renamed the worksheet raw and I saved the Excel spreadsheet, or excuse me, workbook as 4VDEP for vegetation departure. I then copied all of this into a working spreadsheet, deleted that row ID field just to clean things up a little bit, and now I will do a quick insertion of an acres column and calculate acres. I do that by multiplying the count of 30 meter pixels times a conversion factor of 0.222. Double clicking on this bottom corner spreads that down and we have acres. I like to also do a little formatting so I can read this a little easier, get rid of the decimals and add in commas. So now I have a little bit better of a worksheet. However, I still can't do a whole lot with this. What I'm going to do now is create a pivot table that will allow me to explore this in a much more intuitive manner, at least for me. So if you haven't worked with pivot tables, they're amazing. They can be a little confusing. You can really create some numbers that you may not believe. So go slowly, double check your work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the pivot table fields and I'm going to insert the BPS code. It comes up as a sum, which does not help. So I'm going to drag that over to rows. Here we get all of the BPS codes. That's not too useful though, right? So I'm going to uncheck that. Saw that they're there, showing you. I'm going to go to BPS model. Still, that's not super useful. I'll go to BPS name. And here we see that we have a unique BPS model number for each BPS name. However, if we were to change this around, we can see that there can be multiple BPS model numbers for each BPS name. So just be careful, explore, play around. Another thing we can do to make this a little easier is to go to design. For now, I'm going to make sure there are no subtotals, no grand totals, and I'm going to change this format to tabular. Also, I'm going to repeat all item labels. So next I'm going to go and add in the label from the succession classes. All right, so we have our succession class labels by BPS. So that's useful. However, we need a little more information. Now I will go up to the top and insert acres. All right, great. So now we're starting to see something. So for the boreal acid peatland systems of the driftless region in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois, where I'm working, where this data comes from, for map zone 41, as indicated by the first two numbers in this BPS model number, we have not a whole lot of burnable ag or burnable urban for this type. Not too surprising that we don't have too much conversion in the boreal acidic peatland systems. We can explore here if we want a little bit and check out some of the numbers that may or may not be useful. For the work I'm doing, I want to get rid of the burnable ag and burnable urban, so I can scroll down to that class name or excuse me, label field and do a little selecting. So I'm going to unselect everything except for A, B, C, D, E, and UN. All right, so there we go. I'm going to see if this will work. I'm going to see if I can sort A to Z. It does not allow me to do that. Or actually, what I've just learned is that for map zone 41, perhaps there is no succession class A. This presents an interesting thing. We may want that succession class A later. However, we'll leave it as is for now. And we have sort of a clean table ready to do our vegetation departure calculations almost. We're going to go up and do a little bit more work. We're going to drag this acres field down to get a duplicate of it. And hopefully I will go quickly here and I will go to show values as percentage of grand total, or column total, or row total, or of, or parent row total. I always have to goof around here. That obviously was not the right selection. That is for the whole area. That may be interesting to you. Probably not. Column total, we're going to go parent row total. That's what we want. That looks correct. So for the boreal acid peatlands of the driftless region of the United States, within LANDFIRE map zone 41, we have 3%, 3.7% of that combination is succession class B, and so on. So now we're almost ready to export. I think we are. I'm going to copy this, paste it as values here, and we're almost ready to go. I probably don't need to show you how to do this part, but I'm just going to keep on working while I've got you here. I need percent. So I'm going to quickly do a little multiplication because that formatting went away when I pasted it as numbers. And we have a percent. I can get rid of this. Oh, not that way though. Do you ever have that happen? Oh, copy and paste as values and then delete this row or column, excuse me. Okay, so there we have it. We have the current amounts of the biophysical settings for the landscape of interest. And as I'm talking, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and put in this so I know that it's current percent. Hope that's helpful.